So you have a problem, and that is EQ. You don't know how to use it. You don't understand it. Or maybe you do, and you're just looking for ways to improve your skill. Now, who am I? My name is Don Law. I'm an artist. I don't have a big channel. I just started this channel, don't have a lot of subscribers, don't have a lot of followers, all that good stuff. But that does not change the fact that I'm very well versed in music production. I've been doing music production over 10 years now. I've been doing audio engineering for like over 8. I didn't start those at the same time. And when I say audio engineering, I mean working, like recording other artists throughout the city, working at studios, all that good stuff. And lastly, I'm a percussion instructor. I play instruments, if you haven't gathered by the background, but I'm a percussion instructor at one of my local high schools. And if you don't know what that is, basically I teach drumline. I teach kids music, how to read it, how to understand it, and how to have fun while beating on drums. So I'm going to teach you how to do the same thing with EQ. Let's break it down. First things we got to start with is, what is the frequency spectrum? It says 20. I know it's small, but it just says 20. And next to this 20, there's 2 letters, HZ. That stands for hertz. Now, if I go all the way to the right, we now have 20 again, but this time it has a K, 1,000, so 20,000. Since the K is already there, we would just have the H and the Z. Again, it stands for hertz. So we would have 20 KHZ. To the right. So over here to the left, all the way to the left, we have 20 HZ, and then we go up. Once we cross 1,000, every number after that will have KHZ, so 20 kilohertz or 20,000 hertz. The frequency spectrum is our way of understanding where sounds live in a particular way. The frequency spectrum is like a house. There's different rooms, right? You have a living room, you have a bathroom, you have a kitchen, you have your basement, you have the guest bedroom, your back patio, your backyard. All of these are different sections that have like different functions. Each room has different functions. You don't go cooking dinner in the bathroom, right? You're not going to go sleep in your garage unless you like working on cars and that's a thing for you. I don't know. Maybe you do sleep in your garage. Point being, there are different rooms in the house that hold different items, but the purpose of that room is also different. So we're going to say 0 hertz to 50 hertz is where your sub information lives. What is sub information? Subs is very low information that you typically feel more so than you hear. You can hear things like 808s, but put yourself in an environment where subs can be reproduced. So like if you have good speakers, or if you're at a concert, or your headphones, you will be able to literally feel the sub. Let's move on to the next range. We can consider this. Let's go 50 hertz to like we just go like 150 hertz, right? We're gonna call this the lows. All right, we're gonna call this low mids. Boom. We're gonna call this mids. So we got low mids. So for the low mids, we would have like 150 to, let's just say 500. And then let's go 500 to, let's say 15K or 1.5K, my fault. And then let's go 1.5K to, I really kind of want to push this up to like 3, but like, let's go ahead and just say 3K. And then we could use, we should go 3. I think I like to go 3 to 5 and then 5 to 10 and then 10 and up. All right. I think that's cool. So then let's go, what did I say? 3 to 5 and then boom. Okay, cool. So then let's go 3 to 5, and then let's go 5 to 10, and then let's go 10 to 20 yards. And then let's go ahead and call this, so this is the high mids. We should probably call these the upper mids. I can't erase it, or maybe I can. That's how that works. All right, we'll call that upper mids. And now we're going to go. And I know that this is taking a turn talking more so about frequency spectrum than like how to use EQ right now. But I promise you need to understand this before we can talk about how to use the EQ. Because again, I'm teaching you not when to use the tool and not just how to use the tool, but what's the purpose of the tool? And then we'll talk about how to use the tool. And then I can give you examples of when to use the tool. That's how I would like to teach. So we have these different rooms. We have the sub room, we have the lows room, we have the low mids room, we have the mids room, we have the upper mids room, we have the highs room, we have the sibilance room, we have the brilliance room. How does it apply to EQ? So when you have an equalizer, you're giving these nodes, if you want to call them that. You have these little nodes that allow you to boost and or subtract or remove, cut, whatever you want to call it, different points of the frequency spectrum. So over here, if we look down right here, I'm at around, or right here, I'm at in around, 25K. It also tells you right here where you're at. So if I move this node over here, I'm at 10,903 kilohertz. If I move it over here, I'm at 127.808 hertz, even whatever. So EQ gives you the ability to manipulate these rooms. Hey, do I want to hear more sub? Do I want to hear more sibilance? Do I need to hear more mid-range? Do I need to hear more brilliant? Once you understand the rooms of the frequency spectrum, then we can have a way better understanding of how and when we need to use the EQ. Now, I want to close out this video talking about the two main ways to use EQ. I will be making a series. This is going to be a series of how to use EQ. And then I'm going to do the same thing with compression and the same things with like reverbs, delays, all that. So make sure that you write this down somewhere. Take good note of this. These are not hard, concrete points. I'm just estimating roughly about the range of these sounds. Some people might change the crossover points. So, this is 500 and this is 500. They may shift that number down to 300 or maybe up a little higher to maybe like 600 or 700. Everybody's a little bit different, but this is a good guideline. So write this down somewhere, take a mental note of it, understand it, know it, make sure you 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 know it, don't forget it. There are two ways to use EQ. Boom. The first way that you have, right, way number one is tonal balance, right? Tonal balance. What does tonal balance mean? Well, I'm going to show you. This is tonal balance. Big, broad changes to certain rooms or areas within the frequency spectrum. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. Whether you're boosting it, whether you're cutting it, doesn't matter. These are broad tonal changes. We can see this in action.
The more that you do.
Put my headphones on.
The more that you do, they just want to see you fall, yeah. Pain in the hurt, yeah, it's all this.
So I can boost a lot of the low mids, the high mids, low mids, and the upper mids, right?
The more that you do.
If you've watched YouTube tutorials, you've probably seen this one be recommended a god-awful amount of times, where you're just boosting the high end, right?
The more that you do, they just want to see you fall, yeah. Pain in the hurt, yeah, it's all there. They want to know what you feel.
That's tonal balancing. You're shifting a lot of the frequency spectrum one way or another, whether it's in the middle, whether it's on the ends, whether it's on the sides, or whether it's two things at once. Maybe you're doing shifting low end information while shifting high end information while also shifting middle. You could be doing a lot of stuff, but you're changing the tonal balance of the frequency spectrum. Resonance control. So you have tonal, resonance, tonal balance, resonance control. What is a resonance? A resonance is a small area of frequency where it multiplies with itself. So think the bathroom effect. When you're in a bathroom, it sounds super echoey. And for those who really pay attention, if you're singing, maybe in the shower or I don't know, you're just singing in the bathroom, you may even notice that some notes just sound a lot louder than others. Long story short, I'll give you a visual representation again. So let's say that this is a wall and this is a wall, right? Let's say that this is you, a person, right? Here's your shoulders, and then, that's your shoulders. Boom. Don't mind your long neck. Some people got long necks, so, it's cool. We're going to give them a little bit of hair. Cool. So this is our person. Boom. Your dreadlocks a little, I don't know, something's going on. Let's give you some arms. All right, cool. There you go. There's your arms. All right, cool. And let's give you your waist. All right, cool. So boom, there's your person, right? Now this person makes noise. When person makes said noise, sound is going to travel. Right now, nothing is stopping the sound. So the sound will just go this way until it fades out. So you have your sound. It comes out your mouth or wherever it comes out of. And then boom, it starts to hit these walls. But since sound is a physical thing and interacts with the physical world, it's going to say, whoop, boop, and it's going to bounce off this wall. And it's going to go up, boop, and it's going to bounce off this wall. And it's going to go up, boop, and it's going to bounce off this wall. And it's going to keep doing this same process. Boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang, boom, bang. And that's how a resonance is created. Don't believe me? Check this out like this. I'm now creating resonance with my hands because the sound is now multiplying on top of itself due to the enclosed space. And now you don't have resonance. Resonance? Not resonance. Resonance? Not resonance. So when you have a resonance, what we want to try to do is reduce the resonance so that we have more of a this sound. Whoa. Let me just reset that. Let's go ahead and boost these resonances and let's see what you hear. I'd recommend listening on headphones.
The more that you do, they just want to see you fall, yeah. Pain in the hurt, yeah, it's all there. They want to know what you feel. Permanent scars will not heal, but the racks make it better for real. And I love the way you make me feel. Where I'm from, I am no one to love.
So us as audio engineers, we would then take nodes and we would subtract them. Two things. One, when you're listening for resonance, you want to train your ear to listen for that bathroom sound. That's how you're going to be able to identify, oh, that's a resonance. I need to get rid of that. Ooh, this is a very resonant vocal. I need to get rid of that. Oh, I can hear that. I need to get rid of that. That's how you train your ear for one. There's a way to train your ear for tonal balance too, but tonal balance is more so kind of more complicated thing because there's no right way to tonally balance a vocal. You do that based off of what the genre is and based off of what's going on in the production. Now that we talked about that, let me wrap up this video by stating there are 3 ways to use EQ. We only talked about 2, but the third way is actually something we call creativity. We use this to create effects. So if you're not using EQ in one of these 3 ways, chances are you're probably doing something wrong. There's no such thing as wrong in music creation. You create whatever you feel. However, just because you can create whatever you feel doesn't mean that everybody's gonna like it. So yes, there are no rules, but people will toss aside things that just don't sound good. 3 ways to use EQ, that's it. I listen for resonances. Don't do this right here. If you just go and you do the whole EQ sweep technique, this is a resonance. You can turn literally a non-resonant sound into a resonance by doing this. So if I play these vocals,
the more that you do, they just want to see you.
I can create a resonance and fool my brain thinking, oh, that's a resonance. That doesn't sound good. I used to do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen to the source that you recorded or that you've been given and train your ear to identify where the resonances already are. Don't go EQ sweeping, trying to find a resonance and then, oh, this don't sound too good. Let me take it out, because then you get this. You do one there, you be like, oh, this doesn't sound really good. So then you do one there, and then you're like, oh, this doesn't sound too good. Then you got one there, and then you're like, oh, you know what, this we could probably take out a little bit right here. And then you do some this, and then you're like, oh, you know what, this we're gonna take out some that, and then next thing you know, you have 27 nodes on one EQ, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? But anyways, the last way that you use EQ is for creating effects. A famous one that people often do is the telephone and or underwater effect. Is depending on wherever you make the focus point of the room. If you want the underwater effect, then go target your mids, your low mids, maybe your sub ranges if you want, I guess. If you want more of a telephone effect, then set your curves to focus on the upper mids, the highs, all that good stuff. For example,
the more that you do, they just want to see you fall, yeah.
Right now, I'm cutting out all the information, so I'm ignoring all the other rooms, the sub, the low mids, the lows, all that. I'm getting rid of that. I'm getting rid of the Brillance and the Sibilance and all that good stuff, and I'm just I'm just focusing in on the mid ranges and like the low mids and the upper mids.
The more that you do,
And now it's effect. It's an effect at this point. I'm using EQ creatively because I understand how to use it. This is what it means to learn the rules to then break the rules. If you wanted to do the underwater effect, simply move this region down.
the more that you do, they just want to see you fall, yeah.
Same technique, different ranges. If you made it this far in the video, one, I appreciate you, but I don't need to appreciate you. You should appreciate yourself for wanting to learn more, for wanting to be better. That is something that is not common anymore. Wanting to be great, wanting to actually go seek information, go learn information. So kudos to you. So if you made it this far in the video, I don't know, put something in the comments. Put cherry limeade. It's the body armor drink that I'm drinking right now. So put cherry limeade in the comments. That lets me know that you made it that far. And also it helps me identify who's serious. But that's it for this video. Go be a great music maker, whatever you do, and just be great. That's all you gotta do, is just be great. Well, how do you be great? Shit, just be great.